Hi everyone, thanks for joining today. I am going to be doing a cold process soap video. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. It's just kind of going over some troubleshooting issues. I'm using a pretty standard recipe that I always use, and I know how it behaves, but however, I'm using a new fragrance oil. So I had some issues with it, and I've had issues with other fragrance oils, so this is not to call out, a supplier in general. It's just to kind of talk about it. So I want you to leave down in the comments below what was your worst performing fragrance oil. What kind of issues did you have? Did you have extreme acceleration, ricing, or something like that? Or did, maybe it just totally discolor your soap and you weren't expecting that? So I just went off the manufacturer's website and went by what it said according to the description, and I felt pretty confident about putting this soap recipe together. So I got everything to a light trace, and then I started adding, the soap with my micas. In each mica I have like a light carrier oil mixed with it, and this is the actual fragrance oil that I use from Crafter's Choice. Again, their website said there would be no issues with it, and I was really excited. So as you can see, I go ahead and hand mix in my micas, and I'm not really having any issues. The soap is staying pretty fluid. The problem that I had though once I started adding the fragrance oil was kind of funny, and let me know if you've experienced this before. So as you can see, the fragrance oil is starting to thicken up a little bit at this point. So I'm getting a little bit nervous. I'm like, why is it doing that? But I just keep mixing it in, trying to combat the problem. And then I also noticed that it's starting to get a little clumpy. So I'm not sure if it's accelerating or maybe starting to rice at this time, but I'm just overall not pleased with it. And I'm realizing I have no time to work with it, so I'm just slopping everything into the mold, trying to get as much soap as I can into the mold at this point. It was just kind of crazy. I would kind of say that this, to me at this point, I thought that the soap was just completely ricing. So, but when I got done with the soap and the next day, I kind of had a little bit different results, and it kind of freaked me out. Like I said, I've had this happen a few times before. It's just with really bad fragrance oils that don't perform how you expect them to perform. So I went ahead and just kind of designed the top of my soap, anticipating that, everything would be okay, just like a good soap maker does, and they kind of just roll with the punches on their soap making. I went ahead and made a cute little design on top, and I was still pretty optimistic at this point that I would have a good bar of soap by the end of the curing time and all of that, but that is not at all what happened. Alright guys, this is the next day. I woke up and there was just all of the oil on top of the soap. I was so upset. So you can see that this fragrance oil caused basically a chemical reaction within my soap, and all of the oil came out of the soap. It didn't bond with the lye properly. You can still utilize it and reformat it, or make a different type of soap with it, but it's ultimately not something I would ever sell or probably use. So you can see again how everything on their website says that it wouldn't do this, but what I should have done is read some reviews. And I don't know at the time if I purchased it there were reviews, but other people were having the same issue, so I didn't feel as bad. Plus, on top of that, I did notice that the soap that was in my leftover containers did not show that, kind of separation. The soap looked like it was, a normal soap and ready to cure normally. So, like I said, leave me a comment below and let me know your worst experience.